I've been growing Discord servers since I was 17. I made my first 8K, and soon after that, I hit my first 6 figures in 7 months. Since then, I've made $8 million exclusively growing paid communities. So in this video, I'll show you every single step I took to grow my community from 0 members to 10,000 members, and giving you the exact blueprint so you can do this yourself. My promise is that by the end of this video, you'll be able to create your own Discord community, make your resources in it, and drive traffic so you can create crazy sales. Now, this video will be a bit of a longer one, but if you truly want to take advantage of this opportunity and make a 7-figure community, I need you to watch this all the way from start to finish. To start, what do all 3 of these guys have in common? You've definitely seen at least one of them. We have Iman Gadzhi, Grant Cardone, Alex Ramosi. They're all over the internet. And guess what? They all sell some sort of digital education. No matter how you frame it, they're literally just telling you how to do something or how something can make you money, and someone is paying in exchange for that. This is all just online education. This is all this is. To put it in perspective of how big this market is, you can see it's basically a $1 trillion industry. You could honestly round up to that. Here's some quick stats I found. You can see the online education market is going to be a nearly $500 billion industry soon. Now, they aren't even taking into account really what the actual online education system is. If they did, honestly, round this up to $1 trillion, but it's clearly huge and you're going to be a part of it. So let's go into what the Discord business model is. All right, to put it simply, we have a Discord mod and then we have whatever creator, and they're giving some sort of skill or knowledge and passing it down to the customers. So these people give money to the creator, and usually this is through a monthly sub or some other upsell. And these are all built on Whop. It's this huge marketplace. I've been with them for a very, very long time. And basically it's just a place where you can start any sort of Discord or online community about anything really. You can see it's really focused on money-making subjects. If you look at this graph, you can see they're blowing up right now. This is exponential growth. So when a venture capitalist, basically a rich person, wants to invest in a company, this is what they look for. This is basically hockey stick level growth, and it's just going to keep on growing. And the coolest part, you're going to be a part of it. When companies grow, usually it only benefits the company. But in this case, you get to be alongside it. These are all people growing huge Discord businesses on the marketplace. Hands down, one of the best things about this, it costs $0 to start up. Quite literally, you can start this up with $0 and that there's no subscription costs. All you're doing is just telling someone how to do something or giving some sort of skill, and you get money in return. Obviously, as you build things up, you're gonna have more costs. And if you really break down what the importance of this is you're growing a real business. These are $1 million businesses right here. This isn't some, oh, I made 5K or whatever, and that's fine, but you're making possibly $1 million business that's cash flowing you every single month. Look at this. This is one group I made with one creator. This is cash flowing 130K every single month. Like last slide said, exponential growth in an untapped industry. This is how you make insane amounts of money. Look at any single billionaire. They all say the same thing. They all talk about how you need to go into an industry that is growing. Money is flowing into it. Not to mention it takes half the effort to make double the money in an actually growing industry versus a stagnant or a declining one. So let's break down the process of building one. You're gonna go in the niche discovery. You're gonna figure out what works for you and what are you able to deliver to a possible consumer. It's really important to do the proper research for this niche. And then the unique offer is how are you gonna propose it to the world? Are you gonna have some sort of free product, bring them into a paid? What is the pricing gonna be? It's all gonna be dependent on who you're selling to and what you're selling. And once you have that down, that's when you can start working on the socials, which is so important. Do not sleep on this. Now, growing your socials isn't just running a bunch of paid ads. It's actually getting good at organic. And then if you want, you can go into ads, but the combo of both is how you really start going crazy. And then when you have that social media growth, you're able to funnel them into a Discord. You're gonna give value, and then you're able to upsell into paid offers. And then you just make money and have fun. So let's look at a little flywheel. We have that social growth, organic and ads both work. And then we're going to bring them into a free offer. Then it brings them into a paid one. Most likely this will be the lowest one, probably some sort of monthly subscription. And then you're able to just A, retain them, but B, bring them into higher offers. So the social media, my favorite. So we have 4 main ones you're going to have for growing Discord groups. We have YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Obviously, some of these are more centric towards someone trying to show their face or being open to the world. And then we have ones like Twitter where you're just typing along. All are great in their own ways. and they're all gonna funnel into a free product, which is most likely gonna be a free Discord. One important thing to never forget is you're giving value all along the way. You're not just giving value to the paid offer, you're giving value to people in the free server. You're giving value to people in social media. On top of this, make something people actually want. Don't go into a niche or some sort of offer that people just don't care about. Otherwise, no one's gonna buy it. So, brief recap of the business model. We're We're gonna find a niche that you like and others are willing to buy. We're gonna find some sort of unique offer or selling point in the niche that no one else is hitting. We're gonna make content and ads once the content is good. Then we're gonna funnel them into some sort of free Discord and then bring them into a paid. Now you can go straight from social media to paid, but I do recommend doing some sort of free product to really nurture them. And no matter which one, you're giving value or some sort of skills, and then you retain the members and then keep going on the social media train. Quick case study, Book of Alpha. I created this thing all the way back when I was 18 with $0. When I said you don't need any money to start these things, I truly mean it. So just so you can see, I actually have 2 different payment processors going on it on Stripe. Basically how I got into it is there were so many sneaker reselling Discords, and that was my first one. The first month it launched, made about 7.5K, and it just took off from there. It was so easy for me because everyone was on different platforms. The main thing was Twitter, and I was on Instagram, so I had a free-for-all. I was able to take the whole market. The first full year, I made about 150K, and from there, it just kept on exploding. After that first year, it was really important to instill actual systems, get staff in place, and then I was able to focus on the growth and really blow this thing up. So the right mindset for building a 7-figure Discord business. You need to realize that this is a long game. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, but you can make money fast if you do it well. If you have a very growing market or you're really good at social media, you can really expedite this process. But what's so great is either way, you're gonna learn great skills. Let's say you try for the Discord group. Guess what? You're gonna learn super good social media skills that if you wanna transcend it into TikTok shop or do anything with it, you can, because you learn those social media skills. Let's say you're upselling people from high ticket offers. Guess what? You are gonna get really good at sales. Mind you, I didn't create this group so I could just have a bunch of $1 million. All I wanted was just a sustainable business where I didn't have to work a normal job. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. All you need is 100 people at $100 a month and you made 10,000 bucks. That's a higher price sub. You're gonna have to have pretty good info in there for that. But if you look at a mid tier, 50 bucks, 200 people, 10K. Low price sub, 20 bucks, 500 people, 10K. Definitely different offers here, but you can see how it all kind of starts adding up. It's a snowball effect too. You make a genuinely good group, more and more people are gonna come in very fast. Let's go find a niche. I have these docs. First, watch this video through and then print them out and rewatch. That way you'll be able to follow through and really nail things down. Finding your niche is super important. I mean, that is literally the industry you're building it around. So you wanna make sure that you like it and that it works for the customer. To make it simple for you, just go to whop.com and you can see all the different sectors they carry. When you look at all these sections, I bet that there's one of them that stands out to you and or you're knowledgeable about. Some of these are very straight to the point, and then some of them you can get really creative with. If you look at the business sector, they have ones where you can learn how to make money in every single way imaginable. Now, when looking through, you want to see what you could bring to the section. This could be one course that's lacking on something, or just something that isn't even there. For example, you could look at it and say, hey, I want to bring a cold email marketing course. So after that kind of gets spinning in your head, I want you to list down the top 3 sections that interest you the most from Whop. And then you're gonna do research for other niches that aren't on Whop. Now these could be little sub niches, entire categories that aren't there, doesn't matter, but TikTok is a great start in that their SEO is fire. You can just get started on really random keywords. You can just say 10K a month, best agency model. Because what TikTok SEO is looking for is they're just looking for titles, and those are the main parts of TikTok videos. It's able to catch it well. So you can find some low-key stuff on there. You can also just not reinvent the wheel much and look at past existing courses that have done well, turn them into Whop subscriptions, courses, or some sort of paid offer. You could even add a Discord on top of their course, but definitely bring everything into Whop. So after you look at all this, I want you to write down 2 outside niches that interest you the most. Let's say I looked around and I saw there were SAT studying Discords, but there wasn't an actual SAT bot that would give me the answers. I could create a bot for that and make a Whop product out of that. Or you could say there's no paid Fortnite Discords. Let me make one. There's no trucking certificate courses on Whop. Let me create one. But go ahead and write those down. And then once you're done with that, we'll go to the 3-point niche checklist. This you definitely want to be very thoughtful of. So let's write down each one of the niches and really try to think, is this going to make people money? It's okay if it doesn't, but the best businesses are where you make people a ton of money. Is the content in this niche going viral or have viral potential? Ideally, this niche should be able to hit a large audience. We want possible wow factor on social media, something that could really get people going. Twitter, you can hit those small specific audiences, but you still want to think of a big audience in mind. What can get virality? So check here if you do see videos going viral in this niche or have a high likelihood of going viral. Then we're going to go on to, am I knowledgeable and passionate enough to make a Discord about this? So if you aren't already knowledgeable about it, you're going to have problems. You're going to have to learn it. This isn't to say you can't do it. You can learn along the way, but you have to figure out fast, and it's best to do it before you actually make the Discord. Another option too is just to find someone who is qualified and put them in that position. And then bonus point if you're already creating content about the niche, because that means you are passionate and probably knowledgeable and you're creating content. So if you want, you can just go to your list up here and just write check marks to each one that it hits. And we want to see which niches have the most check marks. So if you have all 3 of the main ones, that's great. You know, it has A through C. And if you have 4, that's fantastic. So for the niches with the most check marks, find and note the top 5 creators in that respective niche. Decide what you like about those creators and how you could uniquely kind of spin it yourself. You'll continue this deep dive for 1 to 2 weeks, checking all of their social medias. Questions to ask yourself during this deep dive: what are the main pain points of the potential and current customers in that niche right now? Pain points mean problems. What are they mad about? What are they frustrated with in this niche? This could be like, hey, I'm really mad that Amazon keeps banning our accounts on Amazon FBA. How do we figure this out? So you're gonna ask yourself, how can you solve or have a solution to these pain points? You can figure out, hey, I found a way to get unbanned on Amazon. Here's a script you write to support. And the last one, how big is the addressable market? How hard is it to market? Are others being successful at it? Just like I was saying earlier, are you able to bring this to a large audience? If not, you're not gonna get followers, you're not gonna get customers. But continue deep diving and keep going back to those 4 questions above for each one of those. And if you're confident in the niche, best to just get going and start thinking about how to consider your offer. But I would still read the rest of the sheet because you might actually find your best niche with a creator. Go ahead and mark down if you're confident or not. And if you're just still iffy on the niche, or you just don't wanna create content, especially in that niche, then it may be best to just find a creator who can do it for you. Now, this is gonna be a creator already dominating in that niche, and here's how we're gonna find them. We're just gonna do the same thing. Go through YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Find the biggest creators in the top 5 niches that interest you. You're really gonna open up your possibilities with bringing in a creator, because the creator's making the content, you don't have to, and this is where you can kind of get more obscure. Could be something like holistic healing, building no-code SaaS. You really want to see which one has organic content that is popping off. If it makes people money, then absolute banger. Because like I said, that is the best of the best. Something that actually makes people money. But if not, it's okay. You can still make some sort of product out of it, but your content needs to be fire. What you're gonna look for in a creator is consistent organic growth, interacts with the audience, and doesn't already have a very solidified offer. One creator example is Vucom, passes the organic growth test with stride, just dominating views, getting tens of millions. And he has a very strong personal brand. He does these very unique watch trading videos, and it really adds this personability to his videos. He does lives and such, so he interacts with the audience, and he already has a Whop offer, but it's a strong example of good growth in interacting with the audience. Here's the dub creator checklist. This is what we're gonna look for to find, is this creator a potentially good candidate? Do they have a strong social media presence on at least one of these platforms? Does the creator interact well with the audience? Are they hopping on lives, replying to people, hosting meetups, willing to talk to people? These are things you wanna look for. So go ahead and check if that's true. Do they have an already existing offer? Now, it's important to note what type of offer they have. Some are gonna be really passionate about some things than others. For example, if they have a clothing brand that they built from the ground up, it's gonna be harder to make a paid Discord from them. Now, you still can do it, but the absolute best of the best people are ones with those light offers that really don't know what they want yet. So what you're trying to bring to these creators is a hard monetized option that they like the most, consistent monthly income. Last thing to think about, does a paid offer actually make sense for the creator? Does a paid Discord, a paid live call actually make sense for them? It does for a lot, but some it just may not. Just really try to think, can the audience learn from it? Is there something they can gain from this? Hands down, the most important is that number one. Do they have that strong social media presence? If so, it's honestly worth to hit them up. It's best if you at least have some other ones checked, but number one, the most important. We have 2 different styles that we can go about this. You can ask a creator to build a free Discord for them. The advantage of this is that you're not doing anything predatory. You're just asking them to build a free Discord coming from a fan. This is especially powerful if you have no leverage from other previous Discords, because this way you can position yourself as a Discord master, but you don't need to prove anything. You're just asking to build a free Discord. And then you're gonna start gaining a reputation in that Discord. That allows you to be able to have that conversation with the creator to say, hey, let's make a paid monthly sub. This is a very good attack if someone has a bunch of clout, because they're getting hit up all the time And this is honestly a pretty peaceful offer. Now, style 2, straight to the point. You're just gonna ask them to create a paid Discord community. This is a much faster way to do it, but it's gonna be harder to do. Here's some 2 random scripts I wrote. So this first one using style A. Let's say I found some SMMA guy on YouTube. I'd hit him up and I'd say, hey man, big fan of the YouTube. Was wondering if you'd be interested in me running a free Discord for you for free. Now, here's style 2. Let's say I was on TikTok, I was scrolling, I found someone who's popping off with a clothing brand. I say, hey, you're killing it right now, man. You could easily monetize this by making a paid Discord. Send another one. Cool if I send you a 5-minute video over showing how I could build X brand's paid Discord, and then you could send them a loom. But do not copy this word for word. We're not trying to burn this out. You burn out a script, it doesn't work anymore. I'll have some copywriting guides in the free server so you can check that out. But remember, you're trying to convince them, not shill them. Really focus in on the best niches and creators. Keep hitting them up, but do this tastefully. And you do this enough and you'll probably at least get some sort of good conversations with some creators. So the bigger your social media presence is, the easier it's gonna be to land someone when you do DM them, but you can still do this with a pretty low profile account. And that's where I like the free Discord one, because you're just asking as if you're a fan. Some quick tips for finding creators. Go through TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I'm gonna keep harping on this, but TikTok SEO is so powerful. You will learn so much from it. When we're looking for creators, we're not looking for streamers, Aiden Ross, Kai Cenat, Mr. Beast. We're looking for legitimately smaller creators where you could actually build some sort of paid subscription. And sometimes it's best to focus on those really random niches that can get crazy views. Really make sure they're not a one-hit wonder either, or they were popping off before, but now they fell off. See how their account is doing today. I will stress to take your time on the research. This could be up to a month-long process. We're trying to find something that is going to fit you. Let's go and do a live analysis of really checking everything out. And I'll show you what my thoughts are when I'm going through TikTok and finding niches, creators, everything. Okay, let's go ahead and start. I'm gonna look through Whop, go into e-commerce. I'll choose FBA. That'll be one of the niches I go into. I'll write that down right here. We will check out FBA. I'll find one other one on Whop and then one random obscure one that's not on there. Let's do TikTok shop. TikTok shop or clipping, some with social media. We'll see what we grab. Let's do a broad one. And then let's just find a random obscure one. I'll do that along the way. That'll just be impromptu. For FBA, I'd start with just a super broad search. I probably literally just type Amazon FBA to start and see what pops up. What I'm first gonna see is, I don't know what I wanna do with this niche exactly, but I wanna get the top creators from it. So let's see and look around. I'd go through and see who are the biggest creators. So this guy clearly got a lot of views in this video. Let's see how he sustains it. Pretty well, to be honest, for the volume he's putting out. If we're seeing that 10 to K range average of views, yeah, he could maybe be one of the top creators. This, put it in the @ so it's easier. All right, so keep going through the list. I'll go off to these kids. And also looks, okay, this is doing really solid. These are really good views. I would definitely put them down. Seller Central boys, I can already tell they'll be one of them. I would go ahead and put them down for it. And then, so I'll just grab 3 from each one just to make it easy. I'll do a broader one, how to sell on Amazon. So we'll go through here. We see this guy pop up again, Nate Hurst. So let's see what's good with him. Probably one of the bigger ones. I've definitely seen his name. Yeah, overall, like, solid views for sure, and some of them blow up. We'll just put these as the 3 commanders or so we can learn from. All right, social media. Let's just search up how to sell on TikTok shop. Let's see what people are posting up here, and we're gonna start to see who is commanding this. So Real Ecom Dave, possibly one of them. If you're selling the TikTok shop, you should be commanding some pretty huge views. Overall, put this guy down just real quick. Whenever you're looking at someone's account, you want them to be just super specific on that niche. You don't want them making a bunch of different stuff. I'll do a general how to make TikTok clipping. There has to be someone with some good videos about TikTok clipping. So I'm just going through here, just exploring these different terms, seeing what I can get from it. I'm not actually finding a bunch of crazy things for social media, so maybe that's a side that's untapped. Maybe I'd even put that in. I would make a little note. I could say, do a deeper check into clipping discords. So keep going down. I could do TikTok creativity funds. Let's see who pops up from here. It's gonna be a bunch of rogue creators, not really the people we wanna go for. Because if we're gonna learn from a creator in the space, we want them to be killing it. Let's see if this guy, if he's talking about consistently, and he switched to real estate, so that's a no-go. This is seriously the process. I'm just going through TikTok like crazy, finding every single person. Make 10K with TikTok shop. It's a magical number. So going through TikTok shop, consistent with it. This is someone I could actually wean from. Put that in there. You're gonna watch everything if you're gonna really go into a niche. So the social media, look at it a bit. This one's been kind of agonizing because I think so many people are popping up with the keywords I'm doing. I know there has to be better keywords because Sedlac and everyone uses it. So get rich, TikTok shop, Jimmy Farley, GOAT, probably one of the best people at TikTok. This would definitely be someone to write down. Now, check with all the social medias to really get people that you want to take inspiration from. Yeah, Jimmy Farley would definitely take one of those spots. Let's keep going through. Let's go actually finish up FBA real quick. I want to get one quick note from at least one of these as I quickly look through them. So one thing that I noticed is, what are the style of videos? So if you look at the TikTok ones, they're super personable. They're just a phone in your face and usually accompanied by some sort of success. Whereas the Amazon FBA ones are super heavy, just in your face of what the actual product is and the product in mass. So if you look at some of these Amazon Seller Central, they have just a ton of product they're going through. People like to see the actual product with Amazon FBA. So I would put that as my note. I would say almost all the most relevant videos contain the product, and a lot of it. It'll be just these huge containers and stuff. So for the obscure ones, you can just really do it pretty randomly. I could even start with just how to make 10K a month. You could find some interesting ones. Ecom, so obviously that's standard ecom. 4 incomes to make YouTube automation. Like, allow yourself to go on deep dives too, because you want to open yourself up to just anything that could be decent. So I searched up underrated side hustle. Let's see, selling digital products on Etsy. We'll add an Etsy dropshipping. Let's see if it's able to go viral. It's getting possibly decent views. I'd have to look through and see though. Let's search up holistic health. Let's see if we can get them in a Discord. So let's see what the people are popping like. I imagine this does really well organically, honestly. I would go through, see if anyone's popping off or not. We got 1.2 million. Let's see if she can consistently do it. Pretty good views actually. Purple Ash. So to speed things up, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up with these 9 I chose right here. Now, some of them obviously are better than others. I would do this more concise. I would do this on the TikTok app, so you're able to put those filters in and write down all the ones from the sheet. So you'd follow along the sheet. Also checking all the different social medias. That was one I didn't do during this, but I would go through and I would look at her Instagram and stuff. I would just literally search everything I can to see what type of content they're creating, how good are they at it, and what is resonating in this crowd and niche. Once you're done with that big niche discovery, that's when we're gonna go into building the offer. But in order to build the offer, we need to build the ideal customer. What you just wanna think in your back of your head, how you're gonna make a no-brainer offer. But we're also gonna be validating the niche. What you're gonna do with this sheet is you're just gonna take your top niches. Now, you can narrow down your favorite ones and just repeat, but start with one and you're gonna first figure out what is the state of the market in the niche. Is it growing, consistently stable, or declining? What I suggest you do is to talk to people actually in the industry. Talk to people who are head figures or at least customers and figure out what their thoughts are. If it's not growing, you will probably know. For example, sneakers, that's a declining industry. There's not new money coming into it. So write down the niche and indicate if it's stable or growing. For Book Alpha, my niche is reselling and the market growth is, I'd say, stable. Write down that for yours and just do your best on these. This sheet is a bit more difficult, but these are important things to think about. What is the primary demographic of people consuming content in the niche? Consider location, age, willingness to spend. But what's most important is we want to think of the ideal customer in this niche. For me, I'm gonna target individuals aged 18 to 25. I want them to have a hardworking mentality and some sort of consistent income. The reason why the broad general audience doesn't matter too much to think about is because you're just gonna capture a huge audience if you're getting viral organic videos. Now, your ideal crowd is important to harp on because that's where you're gonna tailor your whole offer around. So for this one, ideally, I want a blank age range. They have some sort of mentality and a consistent income stream. Mentality wise, this will actually differ a bit from Discord to Discord. Now let's think about barrier to entry. For me, isn't as big now, but it definitely was a problem before. was people not knowing how to use Discord. It wasn't super common at the time. So that was one thing I really had to work around. So definitely one thing to think about when you're creating around your niche and offer. Is there a big barrier to entry that I have to possibly think about? It could be software. Is it hard for people to use? Is it the course rigor? Is it just tough to understand? Time constraints. It's important to try to mitigate your barrier to entry, whether that's trying to alienate a certain crowd that you don't want, or the best way is to just educate them and teach them how to do stuff so they're able to do it. And now let's try to consider what social media platforms your ideal audience frequents. You're gonna likely list multiple. There's no perfect number. For me, my primary platforms are definitely Instagram and TikTok mainly, and then next would be Twitter. So list the top 3 social medias where your audience is active. And then you're gonna consolidate your answers. This is where you're gonna kind of see it start to come together. There's another quick sheet after this, but my niche is reselling. It has stable market growth. Ideally, I'm going to target individuals 18 to 25 who possess a hardworking mentality, consistent income. A potential barrier for my audience is their unfamiliarity with Discord. My audience is active on IG, TikTok, Twitter. So now that we've built the perfect ideal customer, how do we pitch them? This is the latter part of it. Sell me this pen. It's kind of what you're trying to go for. How are you going to sell them? This one is really, really, really important. List the top 3 vocal complaints you hear from customers and potential customers. So in this niche, you're gonna go to comment sections. You're gonna talk to people, figure it out one-on-one. What's really a problem that's lingering around that no one has quite figured out, or at least in a paid subscription wise. So that's what number 2. How are you gonna solve this complaint? And it doesn't necessarily have to be groundbreaking. You just have to be slightly different than the others. It could seriously be as something as just changing the way something is delivered. Maybe instead of giving a trading call in a Discord, you do it through the TradingView app on Whop. It's just little things. It could be changing from Telegram to Discord. In order to really hone in on this pain point, this problem, you have to dig deep into the niche, talk to those people, and that's where you figure out where you can kind of sliver in. So my biggest pain point, people are tired of reselling sneakers for no profit, so I give them other items that are profitable. If you can't think of how to truly differentiate yourself, you can move on a bit, but you need to really think about it. And then now you want to think about what truly is the audience's desired outcome. Because there's a difference between making $500, $1,000 a month versus making a full income, $10,000 a month. But you really want to think about it because you see 2 different type of pitches on the internet sphere. Which one is your audience? Now, the reality of it is most people just want money really fast. So don't overthink this one super hard. Write down what your audience immediately wants and are they patient about it or not? So when you bring it all together, basically I am looking for people who have decent income, age 18, 25, may not know Discord, but they're looking for something that actually profits. They're tired of sneakers that don't resell. They want some extra side hustle money and they want it now. See how this all comes together? You're able to now pitch your offer towards it. This is what you want to keep in mind. This is always should be in your head. How am I going to get this person in my Discord? Now, note on the validation part of the niche, you want to look through on this big little chunk right here and see, are there problems? When you went through the niche, you want to identify problems with the offer or the niche as well. Again, the offer is to kind of validate the niche. So if the audience is broke, there's no point in selling towards them. So you'd write that one off. Also need to think, is it unrealistic? If you're teaching someone how to be a software engineer and they want money right off the bat, that doesn't go hand in hand. So make sure everything flows. You want it to be smooth like water with your offer. Everything needs to be cohesive and make sense. So we have our little guy right here, our ideal customer. Here are the possible stages he could go through. First, we have an L tier. Will barely or even accept a free offer or product. Then we have a mid tier. Maybe they're active in the free Discord. Maybe they're talking around, but they're still not gonna buy any sort of paid subscription or paid offer. Then next up, solid tier. They're intrigued enough to wanna buy, but they're expecting something right off the bat. They're not 100% convinced. And then we have God tier. This is really what you want to aim for. This is the holy grail because they're more than happy to pay. Price is not actually the main problem. It's not even a main consideration. All they want is to just get in. Now, these people are probably going to stay around for a while as well. So how do we rise this guy up? Well, that's how we're going to start giving free value out. Now, you could give them free info. This could start intriguing them. Then also a free Discord. You keep plugging this around and you can really start to get someone to possibly want to buy. If they're active in the free Discord and they're seeing success pop up, that could really start to pique their interest. Again, this may not actually fully convince someone. You might need to give more than just some sort of free offer. It may bring some people all the way up. It may not even change some people, but your goal is to try to rise as many people to the God tier as possible. So make your free information as great. This could be, like I said, a free guide. This could be some free tutorial. With the free Discord, you're able to give that free value. People love that. Now, this is where you're gonna dangle that carrot on a stick to get that person in from free into a paid offer. This could be one-on-one calls. Now, this could be a free introductory call that could get someone in or more intrigued to be in. Or it could be a paid one that you flex where, hey, you get one-on-one calls with the expert, but you have to be in the paid Discord. Now, one of the most obvious ones is success. You want to see what people are making in the other Discord. And if they don't see that, they're never going to be entirely convinced. So make sure to really hammer this home, but you also want to do it sparingly. You want to make it seem like it's not being forced in their face. Really give that value. And these are the real limelight ones. So this one could be a celebrity. Let's say if it's a creator that's really big or has a bunch of clout, really notable people hopping in the chat or hopping in the live calls. And this is gonna make it rise up. You add each of these value props in, and this person is gonna slowly possibly become a God tier member. And then FOMO, there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. This could be limited time offers. So you hear me mentioning free and paid offers a lot. Here's some common ones you can do on Whop. So common free offers, the free Discord, that's hands down what I recommend. You can do a free intro call. I don't see a ton of people do this, but it can work, especially if you have someone that is able to take those calls. And then you can have a free course or guide, just telling someone how you can do something and you give it away for free. And commonly paid offers, getting them into a paid monthly sub. I just hands down recommend this. There's a reason why so many on Whop do it. It's because it's just such a great offer. We're seeing that huge shift of people buying really expensive courses and such, and more going to lower tier subs. Now you could upsell them into a one-time exclusive course, but it's best to upsell it rather than give it completely upfront. And then there's paid one-on-one calls. Now this is most likely going to be the creator of the group, or it needs to be some sort of expert on the field. And then there's a paid mastermind, basically the same thing, but you're hosting audience for it. Now, how you price it is going to be dependent on where your audience is at. For example, your average TikTok person, they are just not the same as a Twitter and YouTube person, but that doesn't mean they're bad. And then we have YouTube Shorts, which they're just in a whole nother league of their own. But this is honestly the definitive little line chart right here of how you will price it. Now, what I like about TikTok is you're able to just do it in volume. Yeah, it may not be as much. Your TikTok sub may only be 28 bucks a month or 35 bucks a month, but you could get 100 people in. Whereas something like YouTube, you probably do a higher sub. If you really know your subject, it's probably not gonna be as many people though. Instagram is definitely willing to shell out a little more than TikTok, but they're decently similar. So keep these two in mind if you're heavy TikTok and Instagram, which you should be on these platforms. So what should you actually price at? So your answers before should help you a lot. If you're targeting really young people looking for a new side hustle on TikTok, it's definitely gonna be on the cheaper side. Both the offer and the actual platform they're on validate that. Now, if you're on Twitter and someone's learning how to do copywriting as a full-time job, obviously you can do a higher price sub. But check similar industries on Whop, see what the market's at, and you'll kind of get a gauge of where you can start with. For example, if you look at trading, they almost all command 100 bucks plus a month because it's a really refined skill. Not a ton of people are able to speak on it. One thing to really think about is what can someone make a month from it? If they can only make a couple $100 profit from it a month, your sub should not be very high. People are impatient, so you're gonna have to deliver some sort of value fast. But my overall mantra definitely is start low, you can rise high. Don't try to get too greedy with it. For example, I started at 35 bucks a month for my main sub, and now it's at 79 bucks a month. It takes a while to figure out what the market likes, what's fair. So how should you offer it? You're gonna have that social media. You're gonna be doing that organic content plus the ads. Now, are you gonna offer them straight to the paid sub or give value in free Discord, then go to paid sub? To be honest, kind of depends on the offer. What I would suggest is doing the free value in the free Discord, because then you're really gonna nurture a lot more people, and it's just way less of a barrier to entry to getting people in the paid sub. I think it's one of the most powerful funnels you could possibly do. So with big upsells, it's best to do it if you can get them in a small paid subscription first. You can also do this with the free, but you're gonna then bring them into any sort of back-end offer you wanna give. These could be webinars, consultations, extra courses, one-on-one support, or the highest of them all, agency. For example, my big upsell in my group is I have people on the $79 monthly subscription. That's for reselling. If they like the reselling, then they're able to buy an Amazon FBA course for $500. So overall, there are the offers. I'm gonna actually show you all the different products you can use on Whop right now, plus setting up the Discord. So this is making the actual product right now, and I'll show you along with me. Go ahead on Whop. We're gonna go create a cold email course, and we also do trading. Ben's Emporium. All right, let's cruise through here. We'll do trading view indication since we're doing trading education. All right, let's set up the product. We're gonna browse the apps. These are all the different things I was mentioning about before. Obviously, Discord access is the main one. I'll go ahead and get started on that. Connect my Discord. So I'm gonna add it to the server, Ben Godfrey template, fill out the CAPTCHAs. Now we're gonna move the Whop bot. We added the Whop bot, and now that's working now, and it's connected. You can see I have my tiered system, the VIP, which is the premium access, and then standard member. This is someone just joining in to the free part. And then there's staff, the people who will be working for the Discord. So we have the free product right here, but we're gonna let this be the free one. Free, release, buy now, visibility, anyone can see it. So we're gonna be plugging it in our links in the bio and stuff. So looks all good there. And then right there, this is the link that you can create for people to join. Let's pop it up right here. Ben's Emporium, free access, and then you get access to the Discord. All right, created the free product. Now let's create a paid version. Trading, Discord access. This is gonna be the VIP one. Note how they get both the VIP and the member role. So we're gonna add the pricing option. So it's gonna be paid. Let's do a subscription, and we'll do it at 78 bucks a month. We're gonna allow credit card and fiat. You can do PayPal if you like, can do free trial days. I wouldn't recommend this, to be honest. I noticed that free trials don't convert very well. People need to buy to show that they're actually interested. So I'd keep it, they're either in free or they're in paid. Most are gonna keep it out of buy now. Now you can do a wait list, try to hype things up, but you're gonna have to properly do this. If you just make a wait list link and don't say anything, it's not gonna create any sort of hype. I just keep it visible, not a ton of point in keeping it hidden unless it truly is some sort of shock drop or some sort of special type of release where it's a limited amount of stock. But in that VIP, I'm gonna add another app as well because we're a trading group. Let's go add trading view as well. Now, I would also add a course as well, especially with something like trading where you need to teach someone. Then a great introductory course, definitely add it in, bundle it. So when they do buy the VIP, they're able to click on the trading course and it pops up for them. Now, just to show around, there's a bunch of different apps you can use. I highly suggest taking advantage of this because you can get really creative with your business and customers love these little things. For example, if you're a sports group and let's say you have a decently active community, but you want it to be more active, you could add this Sports Streaks app right here. Little games like that can really help people feeling like they're a part of the community and reduce your churn. Now for building out courses, a lot of you guys are going to be making your own course with new videos. So what I would say, keep it straight to the point. If it's info that can be delivered daily, such as what are trades for the day, keep that to the Discord. This is mainly supposed to be fundamentals that you're giving to the person. Try to make it not seem super congested. Notice how I have a bunch of different categories here, and you honestly don't need to have that fancy of footage. If your skill is just learning how to make money online, honestly, a Loom will work. So we have our two main products here, the Ben's Emporium and the VIP trading. Let's go create the store page now. This is what the entire world's gonna see. Customize the page. You're gonna need to hit some criteria in order to apply, but let's just start customizing. So here you're gonna have this slideshow of sort, and you really want it to pop out if you can. I will say, don't go super crazy at the start, but do try to make this look nice. For the graphics, I will be going to Canva. It's just the GOAT at making quick graphic stuff. What you can do is actually make a bunch of slideshows in here and you can have your success later on. Features, just narrow down your main things that make your group worth it. I'll continue on with this. I'll say the 24/7 support, staff on at all times, daily picks, 4 daily NBA picks. Let's add some facts. That's actually a good one. What is your refund policy? So we allow no refunds after a 24-hour grace period. This sounds pretty blunt. I would try to keep yours as friendly as possible. Description, daily picks from mathematicians. That is just a really rough one. Like I said, I'd really try to polish this one, just trying to show you what you do get. And then you can see VIP trading includes all this. And then Ben's Emporium free includes this. So we have the product name. You can change the URL slug here. Tagline. This is like a super straight to the point one. Make it super poppy. Daily picks, daily profit. We're gonna go through the categories. I'm just gonna go through the line on everything and just make sure everything's filled out. I would take advantage of the media gallery, add more photos in here to show your success. And since I have a paid product, I can then apply for Marketplace. So here you can set up your affiliates, promo codes if you want to give someone a discount. And there's a bunch of different customizations you can do there. All right, the Whop isn't fully set up, but let's go to the Discord where this really matters. So I made it easy for you. I actually have a template and you can download it and this all pops up right here. But let's go back to the template. This is a very generic template. You can use it for a lot of different categories. The emojis are nice. They make it pop out, and all you really need to do is just fill in what your server is doing. If you are a trading Discord, we're just gonna create a category. Let's say you're doing trading. What I would do is, well, you can copy over these little things here so you can make it look all nice. And you could do it like trades of the day. All right, create the category for that. And then, so when you have that category, you can then add a channel and then add the trades for the day. I'll add some quick ones. It's best to not congest one channel super hard. Separate it as much as you can. So if you have multiple traders calling different trades, have each one have their own channel. This one could be Jeffrey's calls. Keep it as simple as you can. If something's getting really congested in a channel, make another one for it. But this layout is quite simple when you look at it. Like really think about it from the funnel down. When someone goes into the free, you want them to just immediately see what you want them to see. And that's with this exclusive category right here. You can put your link in here. You can see I can put my Ben's Emporium. The best of the best is a custom developed message, and definitely encourage people to post in here with whatever success they get, because this is gonna wanna make people wanna buy the premium. In order to get people to actually post in the VIP success, sometimes you're just gonna have to tell them straight up, please do this. And going on when they hop in too, make the free chat actually be popping. Obviously, this is a skeleton server, but if someone hops in this chat, they should immediately come in and be able to talk to people. Now, continuing on when they hop in, there's two different types of Discord servers. There's just the main standard one, and then there's community servers. So if you go here to server settings and you enable community, it makes a different type of server where they introduce and show the new member along. So how do you know if you're gonna do community or if you're just gonna keep it a standard server? Think about the people coming in. If they know a bunch about Discord, they really don't need to do the full community introduction. But if these are older real estate people or some sort of audience that's not 25 and under, it could definitely help to have a community introduction. But let's go ahead and get started. You can see here, rules channel, make it very simple and to the point. Community updates channel, we can put that in our admin chat where only admins are gonna be able to see it. So these are two important things to quick note. It's saying it's gonna set default settings to mentions only. So when people join the server, they're only gonna get pings if someone adds them directly. And when someone just joins the server, they're not gonna be able to do these risky things like trying to kick someone, ban someone, delete channels, messages. They'll have to earn some sort of role before they can do that. So for this safety notification channel, again, you can put them on the admin chat, and just anything that goes in there can be really important and you can get alerted on. So the server description, you can keep it super straight and to the point. Sports betting and trading and cold email. Now, a few cool things you can do right off the bat with a community channel versus just a normal one. You can host things like events and it'll alert when they happen. So you could say, hey, we have a voice channel thing happening. So you can say, hey, doing live trades at this time. Live trade Sundays. Create event. And hands down, the clutchest thing about communities is you can create a stage. This is a voice channel where a bunch of people can hop in. Almost 400 plus can hop in this thing. Whereas if you just do a voice channel, it's like 25 max can see a shared screen. So stage is so much better. For the stages, we can say it's a VIP only call, but you'll probably have calls as well for the free server. They're really, really good ways to funnel people into the paid. And you can see the call right here. Here's the onboarding part. This is what I definitely do if people are brand new to the Discord scene. So they have some automatic raid protection. You can block explicit words or anything right there. And then here's some random permissions. So this is where you can really narrow it down. And if someone's brand new, they'll be able to figure out what to do. So you could say, if it was real estate, do you actively look for leads? And someone could say, yes, I do. And if they do, they can find info of the day. And then you can also do it for post-join questions. Are you a verified investor? I invest frequently. But you can see how you can kind of narrow things down. Now, this is that introduction part. So when they join the server with the community, they'll be welcomed by however you set this up. So you can add some new things a new member should do. Maybe they should have to read a guide. So I went back. Here's the welcome message that you can send. Hey, username, welcome in. So happy to have you. Make sure to check out drops of the day, set up your roles. So that's one welcome message we could have. All right, let's add some important bots now. The first one is going to be a ticket tool. So someone can open a ticket and talk to staff. This is non-negotiable. You have to have this. So what we're going to do, and I'll have all the links in the free server. You're going to go to this ticket tool. You're going to invite the ticket tool to the server. Then got free template, continue. Added it. Let's go back to the ticket tool. We'll go to manage servers. Click on the server that you want to add it to. If it doesn't pop up, I just did sync servers and it finally popped up. All right, let's push the ticket tool up to the top here. If you want, you can even create a role for bots to clean it up. Just give it the ability to do everything. All right, there we go. Pops up, set up. All right, creating the panel. We're gonna allow admin and we're gonna allow staff to see this. All right, and they're gonna get dumped into this tickets role. All right, we're gonna do it in this channel. Boom, pops up. So when you create a ticket, gets sent in here, close, and then you can delete it or you can keep it. But there we have it. There's the ticket tool you need to add. And then we're gonna add a Dino bot. So the community already has some restrictions on how many people can join. I'll send you some warnings, but highly suggest adding in a Dino bot. And not just a Dino bot, but the premium version. It's able to do some more backstops. So if there's any Discord invite links or anything nefarious, it'll take it down. So dino.gg, add it to the server. We can do the premium free. Just for the video, I'll just add the free one for now. Add it to the template, give it permissions for everything. So this prefix is how you're gonna use the bot. You'll put that question mark in front of any single command. Updates, we can just put it in that admin chat. So go ahead and sync the commands. And you can see our Dino bot pops up here. And now we have full access to all the Dino commands like this. Purge 1, deletes. Now, one thing that's really important, that member role and the VIP, anyone that's not staff or admin, their roles need to be restricted to what they're able to do for each channel. And honestly, the best way to do this, literally click the settings on every single channel. Now, you can sync it, but Discord always has problems. The safest way to do it, check every single channel to make sure they're not able to do anything crazy. You can see the member's able to view it, create an invite or whatever, but never let them do this. Mention at everyone at here, unless they're super trusted, because that's a menace ping. You send this out, everyone gets pinged, and you can just keep doing it. So make sure only staff and admin are able to do this role. Always disable it for any sort of member. You also can add a roles bot, so only certain roles are able to see certain channels. The Dino bot can do this as well. I would suggest this, especially if you have some sort of tiered system or there's a bunch of people with different sort of skill sets. You can see employed in my paid Discord here. There's a bunch of different roles. You can make it where people are able to see what they want to see. All right, set up the role bot real quick. Go to settings, add a reaction, save that. All right, so setting up the reaction bot right now. I'm gonna put in the message ID. And then I am able to do it where if they click the little happy man, it is able to give them the Florida role. Okay, set it up. All right, we got Dino set up and I react to it and it gives me the role. Tailor your server to whatever your offer and niche is, but you can see this is a nice mainframe to work from. People come into the free server and then they're able to upgrade to the paid. And just a quick addition too, we have some special roles. So for people who have proved themselves, they're able to get a God role. This allows them to be able to get more permissions to different channels. And I try to compensate those people since they're helping out the server. And then one of the roles I do to spark incentivization is this lifetime role. Basically, you have to contribute a bunch to our server. You don't pay the monthly sub anymore. And guess what? You can't buy a lifetime. You can only earn it. And I think that's a really important thing. If you have a special type of role, make it so where they have to earn it. Don't just give out a bunch of roles because then it loses significance. But let's go switch over to social media. So with organic content for Discord groups, you can use all these 4 right here: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. What do all 4 of these things have in common? They all provide value. Every single one of these, you're gonna be providing value of some nature. It really is the heart of everything. If you want to get big on social media, you have to provide value of some sort. Especially for Discord groups. The whole point is you're providing information and they're giving you money in return. You have to show them what value they can anticipate. Now to start, if you are outside the United States, you're probably gonna want a US SIM. The reality is that Americans drive a lot of the consumerism, so you wanna be in that market. Buy a US SIM, put it in your phone, and you're able to broadcast to the American market. This is especially important on TikTok, but also applies for Instagram. Here's a main framework you need to keep in your head with organic Discord group content. You want a broad, catchy hook, a value-based body, and some sort of free Discord or free product call to action. Now for TikTok specifically, this is really great for someone who is willing to put themselves out there, maybe even controversial. Definitely gonna need to put out a lot of content. Try to strive for a couple a day, especially at the start. You want niches with large audiences. That's the whole point of TikTok. Grab the biggest audience possible. Now it is best suited for people willing to show their face on camera, but you can do faceless content. In the whole heart of TikTok organic, you want to trigger people's emotions. You want to make them feel mad, laugh, shocked, or validated. These are very strong feelings. And another thing about TikTok too, definitely don't need a highly edited setup. You can just honestly rip it straight from TikTok camera and that works. And if you want a little more edited, you can just bring it into CapCut. There's 2 things about growing a Discord group with TikTok organic. You can do it directly or you can do it indirectly. I make these class action videos, but guess what? People don't buy my paid Discord for class actions, but I get a really large audience viewing my content if I post about them. So this is the indirect content. I get a bunch of people watching. It's still somewhat relevant. People are making money from the settlement, but it's not quite to the reselling. But guess what? I get people actually watching it, and then I'm able to get them as followers, or they're gonna check out the Discord later. And then obviously you have the more direct content. This one is just super direct, where the entire video is about success from his Discord. The video is centered around your product, and the call to action will be your free Discord. I will say it is tough to grow if you make it purely direct. These are usually follow-up videos. But let's get into IG organic. General tips. Edited videos do well here. Unedited personal content will probably not do that well. People want to see some sort of recognizable face or a bunch of edits. It's hard to really grab their attention on Instagram. I think even tougher than TikTok. Think about it. When you're on Instagram, you're able to go to DMs, explore page, back to stories. There's so many other places you can go to. TikTok, you're really confined to that For You page. So with that, you really want to make sure you hook in the audience on Instagram. When you do go viral on Instagram, it's pretty awesome because a follower on Instagram means a lot. They're going to be pretty reluctant to give a follow out, but when they do, that means they're going to stick around. They're going to watch your stories. It's going to be easy for them to click on links. It is pretty decently similar to TikTok, but if you look at Jordan Bounds, you can see he's doing really solid with his views. And it's definitely a much more edited style video. So with Instagram, you can make the videos a little more informative. Don't get it twisted though. It needs to hit a big audience still, drawing people in. And more important even than TikTok, it needs to be straight and to the point. No ums or buts during it, just cut, cut, cut. Again, make the free Discord in the bio, utilize the story, bring people in. The story is a great way to flex success. It's just a light way to do it. So how do you differentiate yourself from the big creators that you studied back in niche and offer? Again, when you immerse yourself in the niche, you're gonna know everything. What is it in this niche that is lacking right now? That's where you wanna provide value. That's where you come in. And a superpower right here, hone in on your innate skills that can help out your videos. If you are funny, please use comedy. It will make it so much more entertaining. A lethal duo right here is it being entertaining and also providing value. So when you first start your accounts, you're gonna be anxious. You're gonna see not that many views possibly. You might compare yourself to other creators, try to copy other styles, but you need to enjoy the process along the way. Be tactful about it. Take inspiration from what's working, put in your own twist on it, but you need to figure out what's gonna hit on the algorithm. And another thing too, the algorithm changes all the time. And think of old Instagram, it was back in all pictures. Now it's reels. edited, raw videos. You have to stay on top of it. If you don't, you literally will get left behind. This is where I started. It was literally just OG Instagram back in early 2019. And then now we have this, viral reels. In the free Discord, I actually have a guide about how this video went viral and you can make yours go viral too. Now, I highly recommend trying out social media yourself, but if you're working with another social media content creator, make sure they're doing these things still. Make sure that they're including the calls to action to their videos. You need to have it as the main and consistent call to action, otherwise people aren't going to take it seriously. And still check on their stories and oversee their content. You need to make sure that they're actually fulfilling their duty on the product. If they're not promoting it, then that partnership is kind of a waste. It needs to be something that is consistently promoted so the audience knows it's legitimately well liked by the creator and this is their idea. So now we have Twitter organic. Here's some general tips for it. Rely on giving people valuable information. That is the true heart of Twitter. And it's great for those who don't want to speak or even show face. So you're really going to hone in on the value side of things for Twitter. One good rule of thumb, only post content you think someone would pay for. And volume is really important as well for Twitter. I would definitely post multiple times a day, especially if a new account. And then we have YouTube organic. Honestly, this is the absolute latest of all of them. If you're just getting into social media, YouTube will be hard for you. You're essentially creating mini movies and you need to be super knowledgeable, Yoda level. Like that's what you need to aspire to be if you want to be on YouTube. As you can see with me, I waited 7 years to perfect my craft before I gave it to you guys. I'm not even gonna include YouTube Shorts in this one. Honestly, that's just for gaming and viral trending clips like streamers. You can still throw it up, but don't expect high conversions. So YouTube and Twitter are the same in this. You don't need to hit a super huge audience. You can cast it to a pretty specific audience. Just make sure to deliver them fire info. So here's a few examples of some of my favorite Discord groups that are on social media that just kill it. So PB Trading, these two guys are cracked. They haven't even been around longer than early January. Already have an insane amount of views. I mean, consistently crushing it. 23.4 million views. They're just able to get so many followers. And the craziest part, they're not even really talking about trading that explicitly. When they do talk about trading, it's in these super humorous skits that are done well. They never really plug the Discord or success. I don't believe there's a paid offer yet, but I would take off this link tree and I'll make it go straight to a Discord. So I mean, if you're able to get really creative and do full-on comedy skits, it's worth a shot. It could do super well. And then on the TikTok side, Max Jones has a really solid page. He's definitely found his style and it works well. Kind of reels into that FOMO part. It's a good hook, you know, trying to go with the exposed part and then just out of the gate, you're just kind of enamored with how is this page doing this, and he goes into it. Moosey can get insane views as well. He does these day in the lives and they just do really well. Moosey has a Discord group as well and his videos can crush it. You look right here, just millions on millions of views. One thing to note is how all these creators just get really straight to the point, and then for the call to action, they bring you to the free Discord. So lucky for you, I made a framework that you can follow where you can build some videos on top of. Really great to start from. I also have some other resources in the free Discord, but let's start off with this. Are you okay with showing your face? And we'd scroll to the blue part. If you are, we're gonna be doing this with Instagram Reels and TikTok. This is really just gonna be for direct. I'm not gonna go super hard on indirect because it's just so broad. So we have a FOMO based video. We're gonna hook the audience in with a strong start, how they're missing an opportunity and something is popping off right now. So the framework would be, I'm making X with Y and you can do it too with Z. And then the body is going to be a very short explanation of whatever it is that you're doing, but needs to be straight to the point. What I do is A, and how I do it is by B. It's only going to last so long. And then call to action, make them go to some link in the bio. So here's it actually being used. I'm making 30K a day with dropshipping, and you can do it too with this AI tool. What I do is go to aidropshipper.ai and sort from the top trending products and sell on Shopify. It's only going to last so long before the niche gets oversaturated. If you don't want to miss out, join my free webinar this Wednesday on my page. So let's now go into an informational based video. You're going to hook the audience in with how they're going to accomplish a certain skill or feat. Explain the opportunity step by step. Try to dumb it down as much as possible. And then once you do that, funnel them to the proper free product, free Discord. This is going to be a longer body on this one. It's an informational post, but here's it in an actual post example. Here's how you make 10K in 1 month doing nothing. I go to aiclips.org, download each video, then post them up to YouTube. Apply for the YouTube Mr. Beast Foundation, then YouTube pays $20 for every minute watched. All it takes is 500 minutes to make 10K, which is only 500 people watching 1 minute. To see me do an action, join my free Discord in my profile. You see how the steps are very actionable and they're just straight to the point, no BS? These are probably 2 to 3 seconds max on each step. Depending on how it's formed, this could do well. Overall, highly recommend scripting your short form videos. When you do, you can make so many more videos. It's really worth thinking out, especially the hook. Those first 3 seconds, imperative. How are you gonna make it so they don't scroll? Now we have Twitter, much different game, but here are 2 frameworks for it. This is great for those people who don't wanna show face. So first out, just a straight up value drop. Whatever your solution is, tweet it partially or do some sort of interaction requirement to get access to it. Easy example though, exclusive analytics making a post about some free picks someone can use. And then they do an immediate call to action within that same tweet. They're bringing immediate value. They're giving a free pick out and it comes from their paid Discord. And the second framework I have is a story-based tweet, which should be shocking or give value. It needs to grab people in. You can see this guy used bold actually, but if you don't end 2024 with $100,000 in the bank, you're not even trying. And then he does a quick explanation of it. And then he breaks it down in all these subtweets. Overall, he did really well with that first line. I think that's why this did so well. So here's just a quick breakdown. You could do it as you just need to do A to make B a day. Kind of similar to the TikTok and Instagram, but you're gonna make it a very short sentence, but you need to make it punchy. And then the body, you're gonna go here's how, make it just line by line. Do not make the lines long. Notice how short this is? It just says all you need is, and then he breaks down all the requirements. And then call to action, you're most likely gonna do this as a follow-up tweet. Try to be consistent on your call to actions. So if you send them to a free Discord, keep it as that. I can't harp on it enough. Your social media is super important. By making your own content, you hold the ultimate power. No one can take that from you. Okay, you've been grinding the content and now it's time for you to think about the ads. I want people to have at least 1,000 followers and $1,000 of monthly recurring revenue. If you can achieve this, it means you have a pretty good start to your business. I think my problem with ads and new people coming into it is they think it's a fix or a band-aid to their problems. They're a Discord not growing. But in reality, it's supposed to be a way to double down on things that are working. If your organic content is doing terrible or your Discord group is not growing at all, something is fundamentally wrong. You need to fix that first before you're gonna fully go into ads. So you need to keep that in your head. Nail down the content side, do well organically, and then you can double down, be a Giga Chad with the ads right after that. Me personally, I don't even really run ads anymore. I'm purely organic because it costs $0 to acquire a customer. If you can dominate organic, it's kind of hard to go back to the ad space. So Instagram is definitely going to be the main place you're going to advertise for Discord groups. And really the essence of it is going to be you testing a bunch of different creatives, aka short form videos. The thing about ads is you want to be quick and straight to the point. Seriously, you just want to grab the attention super hard and then you're going to funnel them in. If you change anything in your Facebook ads, you want to keep your variables down to as minimal as possible. You want to literally just change one variable at a time. What so many people get wrong about Instagram ads is they just go straight to their Instagram app and they click boost post. Don't do that. You're literally just giving and forfeiting money all the way to Meta. The whole point of ads is to track analytics, use data. If you aren't using data, how can you know that an ad is actually working? And how we're gonna do this is we're gonna connect the Metapixel to our Whop account so we can track analytics. One of the easiest ways to track this is to just look at the customer lifetime value versus the customer acquisition cost. What does this mean? The customer lifetime value is how much value are you gonna get out of an average customer? You can see mine right here is $533.40 for a BOA customer. This is an average across tens of thousands of members that have joined my group. So it's honestly a decently accurate number at this point. If you're a new group, this is gonna be a hard statistic to get. And what you're gonna be comparing this against is the customer acquisition cost. How much does it cost to get a customer in? If you're doing organic content heavily like me, it costs $0. But we're running ads, so it's gonna cost some amount of money. For example, if it costs $250 to acquire a customer through a Facebook ad, but they're worth $533, that's a solid ad. And your goal with these Instagram ads is to lower your customer acquisition costs as much as possible. But also keep in mind, you're the operator of the business. Try to get your customer lifetime value up. You can do this through upsells or just trying to reduce churn. The easiest of the two is actually getting your customer lifetime value up as opposed to trying to keep lowering the customer acquisition cost. So now let's get into it and do a live demo. So I'm in my Facebook account. I'm gonna go over to this all tools and hit events manager. We're gonna set up that pixel. All right, let's add a data set. Let's call this Whop dataset create. All right, so we're gonna take the dataset ID. You can see it right here. And then that's what we're gonna connect to our Whop account. We're gonna do it by going to the Whop settings. So what we're gonna do is go to settings, go to checkout, and then this is where you can see the ID. That's where we're gonna put the metal pixel ID. Click save. So now let's go to Ads Manager and actually create an ad. So when you create an ad, there's a bunch of different objectives. Here's what you need to know. Do sales, because we're gonna convert people to the website. We wanna see who is coming in, how much does it cost, are they buying things? We want data. We're gonna be sending them to the Whop page so we can know what to actually do with these ads. What are the best ones? And if you figure out what the best ones are, you double, triple down on those and you make more money. The difference between traffic and sales is traffic is gonna send people to the website, but it's gonna send it to a bunch of different people. And then sales is gonna try to see who is actually gonna buy the product, who is most likely to buy it, and they will send it to them. And that's all we really care about end of the day. So let's go with sales. And then we're gonna click manual sales campaign. We'll do new ad example. Notice these right here, they're all variables. If you're just getting started, I wouldn't mess around with these. The less variables, the better with Facebook, Instagram ads. And then you're not gonna put anything under special ad categories. You can put a campaign spending limit, but I like doing that more in the ad set. And then keep it as auction and sales. So we're just gonna move on, click next. And we're gonna drive people to the website. For this one, I wanna get them to a place where they're actually gonna buy something. So I'm gonna send them to my monthly subscription. So with the ad set, I'm gonna say website, regular settings, since I'm sending them to a website, and I'm not gonna change the settings. I'm not gonna put on dynamic creative. With dynamic creative, they're just gonna try to put too many working things, changing the copy, changing the ad, changing the creatives. I just wanna minimize the variables. Daily budget, this is how I like doing it. I just honestly like setting a daily budget and then checking it almost daily, honestly, if you're gonna be doing ads. So I'll put it at 20 pounds. So we have the ad set right here. Sending them to the website. We're just gonna keep everything pretty much on normal settings. With this right here, we wanna maximize the number of conversions. Create the Whop pixel. And we can see here that we have the pixel Whop. Now we need to make a conversion event. So this is gonna track when something happens. I wanna see when does someone actually purchase my weekly subscription. So I'll click purchase, set up conversion, track conversion with standard events, dynamic creative, I'm gonna keep that off. Start date, keep as it is. Daily budget, 20 pounds. And then for platforms, I really just like to stick to Instagram. It's just gonna be the conversion. Think of your ideal audience. Where are they gonna be on? The main things I wanna see is Facebook feed, profile feed. You can see video feed, click next. And then here, we're gonna manually upload our ad. So I created 3 test ads and all I did was just change the captions. So this is gonna be one of my creatives. I'm just gonna go ahead and add media, add video, loading up. You can see the white captions, just a standard one. We have it on the 9/16, then we'll click done. And then you can see how it'll pop up on ads and such. We'll do sign up. And this would be an example of one ad you would send. Now I could do this with just another one. Each new ad I do is gonna be as one of these ads right here. And I'm gonna keep the ad set the same and the ad the same. So I would literally just duplicate original campaign. And you can see I would literally just keep it the same, just change the ad. You're trying to minimize as many things as possible. Edit media, delete it, add the new one. See, I got the big white captions, kind of Hormozy style now. I'll put it on the recommended with the long version. Done. And now I'm gonna name this Hormozy white caption. You're gonna test so many different ads and you're just testing every single incremental thing. You're gonna test it on different funnels. You're gonna test it on different captions. You're gonna test it on different call to actions. If you're gonna run ads, you have to do it right and test as many things as possible. And then my final one is gonna be a yellow caption. And then I would publish all these and you would see how they work, which ones are gonna perform the best. Add it to the account, there's the yellow one. All right, put it on 9/16. This is probably gonna perform the best, has a more pop out caption. So you can see here, we have the new ad example. We're keeping the ad set the same. I haven't changed any of the copy of anything. The real things that we're testing right now is what captions are gonna do the best. So then you click publish and get them all published out. Now, I just released these, so these are going to be processing. They'll take a while to get in review, but after a few days, you're going to start seeing them get out of the testing phase, out of the review phase, and hopefully in full motion. There can be error with pixels sometimes, just it's the nature of it if it's not one of the natively integrated ones. So if that's the case, you can just switch it up to a different funnel, but you always want a pixel of some sort, otherwise you're just coming in blind. You need data. If you can't ascertain what's the CLV of the business, then you just need to rely on what does it cost a month to buy. And if you can make it a double ROI, that's a really dumbed down way to do it and is very good. If you really want a simple way to look at it, try to get it for your ads where if you pay for $50 for one person, you get $100 of output. But the best of the best is actually comparing these two things right here: customer lifetime value, customer acquisition cost. What's nice about if you do funnel them into Whop is they allow Apple Pay, which makes it just a lot easier for those mobile checkouts. One big thing to think about when you're funneling people from ads is, what is the barrier to entry? Do they have to log in? Do they have to sign up? Do they have to put in credit card info? These are all things people just don't want to do. So minimize it as much as possible. You want to always make it seamless for whatever you're funneling, but if you're doing ads, you need it really easy. You can see this is what it looked like. You'll see the website actions and then just everything else relevant with the Facebook ads. This value right here, cost per website click, it's just taking whatever website action and it's getting divided by however much has been spent. You're not really going to worry much about reach because all we care about is just who's actually clicking on these links and going through with the purchases. So another thing you should take advantage of is Whop Affiliate. The only reason I could think of not doing some sort of affiliate program is if you're trying to really boost the scarcity or make it really hyped up. But if anyone can buy it, you should have some sort of affiliate. Now, the whole thing about this is you don't want to be greedy. Some people are going to think, oh, I'll just do 15% and only the first time purchase. Who's going to actually want to sell for the group then? You need to think as a customer who would actually want to promote it out, do the hard work of word of mouth. They're going to want some sort of fat affiliate. I would say do 35 to 50% plus. And not just that, do the lifetime value of the customer if you want. I mean, go aggressive with it. Try to make it so people really are passionate about shilling this thing. Volume is your friend. You want as many people shilling this as possible. Whop will automatically do it and take a certain take rate from their website because it's just a huge marketplace. But really focus on getting your customers to do it. You can find fun ways to incentivize it, but highly suggest it. And then another way you can do it is just with UGC affiliates. You can partner with different UGC creators. I'd probably do this with some sort of creative agency. Make sure that they make sense for your specific niche. And if they're super big and they really garner a lot of attention, you're probably gonna have to pay them or even give them equity for large creators. Do be careful about this though, because once you give equity, you can't really take it away. Now with the Discord group, we wanna make sure that people are incentivized. People actually enjoy being in the group. And we need to do that on both fronts, both the free and the paid. I keep harping on it, but bring value in both. Because if you don't, you're not gonna convert really well. And even if they do convert, they're just gonna leave if there's no value. You want it to someone to join the free and they can just hop in the chat. It's fun and they can grab value fast. One mistake that a lot of people do is they like to neglect the free members just because they're free. They're still a member and some of them can actually be really helpful. Obviously paid takes the highest priority, but you need to really think about both of these chats. And the best way to incentivize for either chat is to just give them a free offer for whatever paid subscription you have. If you just give free months away, they're gonna be more than happy. People will be really grateful about it and they're gonna be more willing to help out in the future. And another thing you can do, you give them a special role and people will love it. I give my people just this special lifetime role and people go crazy over it. Because the only way you can get it is by helping out a ton in the group. Sometimes it takes years to get this role. But once you do, it's just the ultimate clout or status within the group. You need to do this sparingly though. If you give out a bunch of roles, then it loses its weight. Make it so it's very few roles, make it coveted, and make people have to earn it. So incentivizing Discord staff. This is an important one. Staff need to all be trusted. This is a non-negotiable. They just have to be well trusted, and if they aren't, then they just can't be a part of your group. The best way to do this is to see who has been in the group for a while and has helped you out, looked out for you, especially in times of any peril. And as a professional business owner, you need to be transparent what their roles and compensation are. If they're truly just helping around the Discord, helping around with some tickets here and there, you can say, hey, I'm rising up to support staff, but this isn't a paid role for now. Just make that clear so that there's no back and forth of problems. And in terms of hiring, it's best to just do this internally through the Discord. If someone's already a member and they're helpful, they could be a really great staff member. You're still gonna have to weed out some stuff, but it's hands down the best way to hire. I've only hired through people who have come through my actual group. And if they do pass all those tests of being trustworthy, they have a unique skill, they contribute to the group, they're very active, you can start them on a low pay and rise it up as they prove themselves. If your group is growing fast, you need some real people in there. And by real people, I mean people that are actually familiar about the topics. If you try to throw in VAs or try to throw in free staff, it's just not gonna work. In fact, you see how incredible it is bringing someone in who that's their full-time job, rather than someone just hopping in on some side thing. For community games, you can just do simple things like creating a game for guessing the Super Bowl score. Make a little channel and just say, hey, whoever guesses it the best gets a free premium month. You can do seasonal ones. People post their best Halloween outfits. If they win, they get a free premium month. It gets interactions in the chat. People like it. Now, with calls in the Discord, these are also really important for interactions. If you're partnering with a creator, they need to show face. Otherwise, it loses kind of all the importance of the group. If it's a really clouded creator, people are gonna expect some sort of presence in there. And this is really powerful to do these calls in the free server to get people into the paid. I've been doing these for 2+ years now and they convert well. When we set up our Discord earlier, I set up as a community. That way we can get that voice channel where hundreds of people can flow in. Really, as a rule, there's just never enough voice calls. Keep them pumping as often as possible. People love them, and especially if you're doing anything daily like trading, highly suggest doing them. Another thing you can do is partner up with other creators. So you could do, hey, a Wednesday night call with some sort of other influencer in the niche. I would say as a rule, this is more of a premium option than a free option, but this is something to really take advantage of if you do have those connections to other influencers. But not just influencers, you can do highly respected people, experts in the field. And here we have those 3 authorities of power: the admin, the staff, the member. It's important to have these sectored off. The admin is gonna be the absolute head honcho. This is gonna be the creator, if it's not you, and then the owner. And it could be any other person that is just really integrated with the group. And then staff, these are just your day-to-day people working on the operations. Still, don't take it lightly to whoever you invite to staff. And then member, the standard role. This could be them verifying whatever when they join, or whatever VIP role you could do as a separate one right here. And you can have secondary roles within here. When I mentioned the lifetime, this can be something that members can look for. And these are things you can scale and exit. They're real businesses. You're gonna be building big social media pages. There's gonna be IP, consistent monthly revenue, ARR at a certain point, annual recurring revenue. These are things you can sell with. In order to be able to do this, you need to get your systems in place. So the staff and the group dynamics need to be solid. They need to be running properly. This is best done if you have your staff all aligned in specific roles and on very specific set pay. Once you have a more passive operation, granted it will never be fully passive, just remember that, you can then focus more on growth, which is hands down the most important part. And the reality is you can sell any sort of group size. It could be a tiny group for a few thousand, or you could sell some megalodon $500,000 group. And the better the socials and IP are, the more you're gonna get from it, just because you're actually selling a brand at that point. And you have to remember from the buyer, they're looking for a smooth transaction. They are buying a Discord group, so they want loyal customers who aren't super attached to a face. These things take a while. I would not bank on getting an exit or anything. I would just really try to create a group that gives you monthly revenue, and that is very doable. So with your Whop account, there's 3 main payment processors that you can choose from. The first one being Whop Payments, which they came out with. And with them being the merchant of record, they're able to do a lot more things, look over everything. They can transfer over data if needed. So for example, I just bought a group and they were able to transfer all the data from one Whop payment into the next Whop payment. Super easy way. Definitely mitigates the risk of getting kicked off, which is a legitimate problem with payment processors, especially if you're new. They're the merchant of record, so they're able to see all the disputes and you can talk to them one-on-one. And now they have new dispute alerts that alert before things become full chargebacks. Whop Payments has been super smooth so far, especially if you're new. You do not want to deal with all the woes of Stripe Standard. Stripe is fire. That's actually what's partnered with Whop, but with the Stripe Standard, you do have to really watch out with chargebacks. I've had super legit clients that easily clear 6 figures a month and they get their account clapped with literally just one chargeback. And the bad thing about Stripe is once it's gone, it is gone. and you're not going to be able to transfer over your data most likely. And that can literally kill a business. If you can't export those customers out, they're kind of gone. What you need to know is they don't like online businesses. I know it seems kind of counterintuitive, but if you say you're a Discord subscription service, they probably won't like it very much. Expect some pushback from Stripe. They're going to keep hammering what you are as a business. They're going to expect some sort of landing page and all your info to be very explicit. As a rule, you want to keep your chargeback rate below 1% with Stripe and really make sure you get your volume up so you don't get clapped and it goes gonzo. And then you have PayPal payments. This is what I started with way back in the day, 2018, 2017. They are just hands down the worst. Super outdated UI, limited data, and one of the scariest of them all, just unprovoked, they can freeze your funds and you just cannot grab anything, nor can you take any more subscriptions. And once that happens, you'll probably have to email them or send them an actual literal mail, and that will be your correspondence with them. And no matter where you go, just keep your disputes low and try to just keep things calm. Naturally, chargebacks are gonna occur. Even if you have the best business in the world, there's gonna be someone trying to charge back. Now, the first way to mitigate this is if someone's pissed and they want a refund, just give it to them before they charge back. If you see something in the resolution center, someone tried to cancel and it didn't let them cancel, just let them have it. Now, if you are gonna fight, make sure you have a strong terms of service, use screenshot of activity in the Discord, show them talking, show just everything you can. You're not going to win every single chargeback, but you can do your best to win as many as possible. There's little things these payment processors don't like. Say you do a huge drop just at one time and you get a bunch of payments just in one day. That can kind of trigger something on their fraud sense. Overall, stay on top of this. It is most pertinent if you are new, but don't let this be the problem of your business. Whether you're new or even experienced, you always need to make sure you're in good standings with payment processors. And again, if you deal with the Whop one, it just takes away a lot of the headaches. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the masterclass. Now you have all the info you need to build your Discord business just like I have. It took me months to get my first 10K, and that was only after a bunch of problems. Payment processing errors, problems with ad accounts, you name it. So for those of you who are interested in starting a Discord community and really wanting that extra help, crazy guides on how to start things, then make sure to join my free Discord server. It's right in the description. I drop banger alpha in there every single week, guides you won't find anywhere else. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos. But best of luck and hope to see you in the free Discord.